Everyone, as I announced that a video on intellectual property rights would be uploaded soon, so here it is. A very dynamic friend of mine who is working as an IPR professional right now has helped me to come up with this presentation. Her name is Smita and I will share a brief biography of her at the end of the video. So welcome to the gateway to your intelligence. Before diving deep into the topic, here are few observation slides for you and ponder over it. To observe and ponder over it. So what do you observe? Right now you all are at your home and let's say watching my video. So take a look around yourself. The chair in which you are sitting right now, or the laptop or mobile which you are using for watching my video. So few alphabets are written or some symbols are presenting over it. So for example HP, Lenovo or anything. So these all are trademarks which comes under the intellectual property rights. In this slide you can see Rubik's cube. This cube was given the name after its inventor Imo Rubik, who invented it in 1974. So initially he built the cube as a teaching tool to help his students understand 3D objects while he was working at the Academy of Applied Arts and Crafts in Budapest, and at that time he did not realize that he had created a puzzle until the first time he scrambled his new cube and then tried to restore it. So Rubik applied for a patent in Hungary for his magic cube on 30th January 1975 and granted later that year only. So this magic cube was very popular in the years of 1980s. So what does a patent do? Patent provides protection to inventions, processes or products produced, and patent protection is particularly useful for costly to invent but cheap to imitate ideas. For example, if we take pharmaceutical industry, here new drugs are being developed every day through rigorous experiments and trial and error methods. So these methods can be easily imitated by the other companies from that of the original one. So government can intervene by granting a patent to the owner of the idea and provide him a temporary monopoly right. So a patent ensures that the innovation will not be copied. So patent can provide protection to any invention? No, there should be a criteria on which an invention should be protected by the patent. So for invention should be to be patented, it must have novelty, that is the information should not already be in the possession of the public, or public may not be knowing about that. Number 2, it should be inventive, that is it should not be obvious to the persons skilled in that particular art. Whenever anything inventive is done for the first time, it is a result of the addition of a new idea to the existing stock of knowledge, and sometimes it is the idea of using established techniques to do something which no one had previously thought of doing. Sometimes it is finding a way of doing something which people have wanted to do but could not think how. So all these inventions which you can see on the screen are the result of those. The inventor of telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, has held 18 patents in his name. Also, the invention should be capable of industrial application and it should have process utility. So all these criteria should be met for invention to be protected by a patent. And just like a bicycle lock protects your bike against theft, intellectual property protects your intellectual creations against theft. Now here we are coming to the big name in the field of biochemistry, Jennifer Doudna. Doudna is now closely linked to the invention of a new tool for gene editing that has radically reduced the time and work needed to edit the genome, and that tool is CRISPR-Cas9 system. So CRISPR stands for Clustered Regulatory Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. We will see further about the CRISPR-Cas9 system, and if you want to know more about Jennifer Doudna and her discovery, you can go to the description box, and I have provided a link over there to watch the more videos on Jennifer Doudna and her discoveries. So we are coming to the actual topic. The great philosopher Plato had said that when the need for something becomes essential, you are forced to find ways of getting or achieving it. In other words, necessity is the mother of invention. It can be seen by an example. Blaise Pascal, mathematician, son of tax collector, invented adding machine Pascaline to calculate taxes quickly, easily and accurately by adding and subtracting by means of cogged wheels. So because his father spent long hours in calculating by hand. So what does inspire the boy to invent such a device? It was the necessity. So necessity is the mother of lots of invention, and it has been giving birth to these inventions by ages. In the upcoming slides, I am going to discuss about innovations and intellectual property, example and types of IP, definitions and intellectual outputs, biotechnology and patents, few outcomes and case study, and in the last I am going to summarize all of these. So what an innovation is? An innovation is developing a new idea and putting it into practice, and a process of bringing valuable new products to market. That is, from the idea concept formulation stage to the successful launching of a new or improved product in the marketplace, or the result of that process so as to meet the needs of potential customers. The term IP refers to unique value-adding creations of the human intellect that results from human ingenuity, creativeness and inventiveness. IP as a creation of the human intellect is found almost everywhere in creative work like books, films, records, music, art and software, and in everyday objects like cars, computers, drugs and new varieties. So IP is the creations of the minds of an individual which has a commercial as well as moral value. And IPR, that is intellectual property rights, grants exclusive rights to an author for utilizing and benefiting from their creations. The various types of IPRs are patent, copyright, trademark, design, database and trade secret. We would come one by one to all of these. So let's take an example, iPhone, which has been protected by Apple, who is the creator in this case. Apple has trademarked the word iPhone, patented the technology which is used to make the iPhone function, and registered the design of the iPhone. Another company cannot sell or claim ownership of the iPhone unless they can prove they came up with the name, technology and design. The purpose of IP is to safeguard the owner's right so that they are the only ones who can benefit from their creation. So, patents protect inventions from direct imitation for a limited period of time. Within the pharmaceutical industry, patents protect the new drugs created by firms such as Merck and Pfizer for up to 20 years. And if a new drug gains acceptance in the market, its patent creates a window of opportunity for the patent holder to enjoy excellent profits. The trademarks are phrases, pictures, names or symbols used to identify a particular organization. For example, the McDonald's Golden Arches, the phrase Intel Inside, which is written over the laptops or computers, and the brand name Old Navy are examples of trademarks. Copyrights provide exclusive rights to the creators of original artistic works such as books, movies, songs and screenplays. Sometimes copyrights are sold and licensed. The late pop star Michael Jackson bought the rights to the Beatles music catalogue and later licensed songs to Target and other companies for use in television advertisements. So what can you see here? Yeah, it is KFC's chicken. So trade secrets refer to the formulas, practices and designs that are central to a firm's business and that remain unknown to competitors. One famous example is the blend of 11 herbs and spices used in Kentucky Fried Chicken's original recipe chicken, and KFC protects this secret by having multiple suppliers and each produce a portion of the herb and spice blend. No one supplier knows the full recipe. Now we are coming to the definitions. So copyrights, a form of protection for creative and intellectual works like books, music or a painting, and copyright does not require registration. Trademarks are a sign, word, logo or slogan maybe, which is used to identify a brand from its competitors. Patents provides protection to a new invention that has not been created before. Registered designs are the appearance of a product or parts of it. Trade secrets protects information that companies keep secret to give them an advantage over their competitors. So you can better understand by these intellectual outputs. So any creations in the field of literature and art such as books, paintings, music, films and records as well as software are generally protected through copyright and also called neighboring related rights. Technological inventions are typically protected by patents or utility models. Distinctive features such as words, symbols, smells, sounds, colors and shapes that distinguish one product from another may be protected by trademark rights. And the specific external appearance given to the objects such as furniture, car body parts, tableware or jewelry may enjoy design protection. Geographical indications are protected by either trademark law or by stand-alone legislation that covers one or more types of products whose reputation is linked to a geographical region. Trade secrets are protected by specific legislation by laws to prevent unfair competition or other laws. And new varieties of plants enjoy protection in most countries through specific legislation and or patent rights. And specific legal protection is provided in some countries for topographies of integrated circuits as well as for non-original databases. Different aspects of a product are often simultaneously protected by more than one type of IPR. Now we are coming to the topic of our concern, that is biotechnology and patents. So as we all know that biotechnology involves technical applications of biological processes in microorganisms, plants or animals, and the food industry, agriculture and medicines have been benefiting from the biotechnology. So what should be given a patent protection? Invention or discovery. Something that is only a discovery, such as the identification of a new gene, is not patentable. But if you have studied further what the gene's function is, if it is used as a medicinal product or diagnostic tool, then it is an invention that can be patent protected. So in this case, the protection is provided to isolated DNA molecules with a certain nucleotide sequence. In other words, the protection cannot be said to cover DNA in nature, but only artificial DNA molecules or DNA which is isolated from the original organism, for example human body, and cut down to the piece you are interested in, can be patent protected. Here are a few examples of the patentable biotechnological inventions. So methods for producing or analyzing proteins and their use in an analysis method or in a medicinal product can be patent protected. The proteins, DNA sequences, microorganisms and constituents of the human body, for example cells, which already exist in nature, and if they are isolated from their natural environment or produced by a technical procedure and have not been described previously, can also be patent protected. Also, the gene which is isolated and given a new task as a medicinal product or diagnostic tool is patentable. The genetically modified products such as plants and animals and microorganisms are also patentable in biotechnology. So what are non-patentable biotechnological inventions? So the pure discoveries such as discovered but not isolated or further described parts of animals, plants or microorganisms. Also the inventions that are contrary to public order or morality and which society regards as unethical and unacceptable. For example, it is not possible to patent a method for reproductive human cloning as it is contrary to public order and morality. You can find more information on biotechnology and ethics if you search for it or get more clarity about it. So plants and animals can be patent protected. Yes, to a certain extent. An invention relating to plants and animals can be patented if the implementability of the invention is not limited to a certain plant variety or animal breed. Even a microbiological procedure and products of such a procedure, for example antibiotics, can be patented. However, methods consisting of biological procedures such as crossbreeding and selection for producing plants and animals cannot be patented. Now we are coming to the case study of CRISPR-Cas system. So patent name is CRISPR-Cas systems and methods for altering expression of gene products. So CRISPR-Cas9 is a gene editing tool which was developed at the University of California, Berkeley to modify single-celled organisms, or we can say bacteria. The technology was then improved at the Broad Institute, a non-profit partnered with Harvard and MIT to work on multicellular organisms, as outlined in 2014 patent. Today, CRISPR is used to modify crops and livestock as well as to treat human patients with ailments such as leukemia or blood cancer. The CRISPR-Cas9 tool works in three parts. So first one is an RNA strand that locates the correct section on an organism's DNA, which is said to be guide RNA. The Cas9 enzyme, that is the CRISPR associated protein that cuts out that segment of DNA, and an optional DNA strand to replace the deleted section. So CRISPR can be injected into embryos or introduced to cells such as immune system cells, and then these injected into a patient. The possibilities for genetic engineering are just starting to take form, with new drugs and treatments for a variety of diseases on the horizon. With this CRISPR-Cas9 technology or tool, which makes a precise cut in the DNA of the organism. So CRISPR-Cas9 was originally discovered in bacteria, but it was isolated and found application now in the human diagnostics. So it can be, or it is patented. Here is the image for the CRISPR-Cas system. So it is the genomic DNA, and this is the target sequence which is to be removed. So the guide RNA will bind to the target sequence, and the Cas9 protein will also bind to the RNA and the target sequence, and it will remove the target sequence and replace it by the desired DNA molecule. Now, what are the benefits of intellectual property rights, or we can say in the other words, what is the need for intellectual property rights? So first of all, it enriches the pool of public knowledge and culture. It also maintains fair competition and encourages the production of a wide range of quality goods and services. Underpinning social, cultural and economic growth and employment, for sustaining innovation and creation. So if a creator has given the intellectual property rights, so he would not hesitate for innovating and creating new inventions or new ideas, as he knows that his idea will be protected. Last but not least, promoting technological advances and cultural expression. IP, innovation and use. The tools of IP, whether it may be patents, copyrights, trademarks, shall facilitate the process of taking innovative technology to the marketplace. IP also plays a major role in enhancing competitiveness of technology-based enterprises. And the protection of ideas by IP rights ensures that human intellect is not lost, while taking advantage of external technical resources and facilities owned by innovation centers, technology parks, universities, research institutes and other big companies. So it gives freedom to the innovators to make their inventions and bring it to the marketplace. So we can summarize it now. Intellectual property rights can be used effectively to facilitate successful innovation. Innovative technologies stand a better chance of successfully reaching the marketplace if IP is used strategically, and it provides access to financing and technical facilities. In addition, IP also provides a strong negotiation position when it comes to entering into and maintaining business partnerships. So, if you are an innovator, or in the future you may be an innovator, you can protect your ideas through IP knowledge, and if you are not, then you can protect other innovators' ideas by practicing IPR laws. So branding is not just about creating a nice logo, it's about creating long-lasting relationships. With this, I have come here. So she is Smita, and she has spent over a decade at the Indian firm and overseas firm and manages a broad spectrum of functions in the IP sector. These include drafting and prosecuting patent applications, and in matters involving contentious issues, appearing before the patent office and responding to the international office action. Her practice focuses on many fields of technology, including biotechnology, microbiology, genetic engineering, pharmaceutical and chemical patents. If we look at the educational background, so Smita has done his bachelor's and master's in biotechnology and also LLB. And her practice areas are patent, trademark, industrial designs and copyright. So I am very thankful to her. So she has helped me to come up with this nice presentation. And if you want to know more about IPR, you can email her to this email ID, that is k03.smita@gmail.com. So with this I'm ending this presentation. So thank you all for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and also don't forget to press the bell icon so that to get notifications of the upcoming videos. Thank you all.